I wanted to ask, how did you practice to imitate your idols? Question to both of you, which you both could answer.
I just try to learn how to play their songs, so I would go through chord by chord by chord. How the hell did he do that? Whoa, and that tempo change and that unexpected shift in key. And so it's just over and over and over listening to my heroes, Elvis Costello and Brian Wilson is another one. Paul McCartney at his best, and John Lennon, of course. Just for me, it's listening over and over and over, learning how to play the songs, and hopefully internalizing the feel, the textures, the key changes, the atmosphere, the brightness, and just committing to getting a little bit better every day. And it's not; those are pop maestros, but I also feel the same way about say Cole Porter. I remember when I first heard "You're the Top." What? How the hell did he write those lyrics and that melody and that humor? Or Hoagie Carmichael. You listen to, yeah, the chorus. Listen to Hoagie Carmichael like Stardust, and whoever plays that song, you feel like you're in some enchanted, achingly beautiful Never Never Land. And it's beautiful and sad and timeless. So that's what I would encourage people to do: is find the best and learn from them. Dedicate yourself to getting a little better every day, as they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for me, it all began with a band called The Beat. Actually, you can, right there. So my older sister, she was like 2.5 years older, and she brought home this record, and because it was like the sort of trendiest record that you kind of have in the 80s. It was very underground. It was very cool. You were like counterculture and everything. And she listened to it for like a week and then like just never touched it again. I heard one song on there called Twist and Crawl. So, by the way, in the United States, they're known as the English beat because trademark thing. But if you listen to that song, you'll hear the beginning of my journey into music, because Twist and Crawl by the English beat, the intro drum beat, I can just see Levi's amazing editing and I can hear under my voice as I'm describing the beat, and you hear the beat. Anyway, that it literally put electricity into my bones, and I knew right then and there, I said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to be a drummer. And that was it. That was it. And I would literally just listen to that, 4 seconds intro, like over and over and over. And this gave me my sense of rhythm. But also in the 1980s, when this came out in 80 or 81, new techniques were being explored in recording studios. So I was also getting a lesson in production because of their unique guitar sound. And that, there's six people in the band, including a saxophonist. And so I think for me, that like they were my heroes. Yeah, they were my heroes. And I wanted to basically make music like that. But then on the other side of it, my father was into classical music, and I remember once finding his Shostakovich Symphony No. 5, and he had a wonderful stereo system, and I just like sat there from beginning to end, just like,
Mamma Mia.
And when you get to the fourth movement, it's, for those that don't know, this was what saved him from being executed by Stalin, because his fourth symphony was very intellectual and very avant-garde, and Stalin was rounding up all the artists and poets and shooting them against a fence post. Short version, short story. He made this big patriotic Russian theme anthem, and then Stalin was like, yes. Now, even in his, you hear little jokes and little things like, you hear the real artist of like, here's your symphony. It's so subtle, but that symphony just blew my mind. So that got me in the classical world. So I'm like a mixture of lots of different things. And then of course I went to Berklee College of Music, where I studied Cole Porter and the Gershwins and Coltrane and Miles Davis and all that stuff. So I don't know. I guess it just. I mean, you know what? I always describe myself as an equal opportunist musician. Like whatever works, if it works on the song, like Pascal and I are, we're from Toronto, and there's what, I don't know, like 300,000-400,000 Jamaicans in Toronto, like a
Yeah.
lot of Jamaican
Yeah.
people in Toronto.
Yeah.
So reggae is like everywhere,
Yeah.
Big Patties, Ting, all these like Jamaican foods, you can get them everywhere in Toronto. And, so for Torontonians, reggae is just like, it's like just part of us, and in album 0, we did a reggae song, and album 1 we did a reggae song, and then I think album 2 or 3, two,
Album 2.
Yeah, so whatever works, man. Like reggae worked on those songs, so we're not gonna like be like, well, it's not really what we do. It's just like, no, that works, and it works on the album, so let's go.
So advice to young artists. I was lucky enough to see English Beat live, and they're everything David says and more. So if we may, a bit of advice to young artists: be open to everything, whether it's Shostakovich or reggae,
Beautiful.
or atonal music, or John Coltrane, or Cole Porter, or
Whatever
the poetry of the Chinese classical era, or the English Renaissance, or Persian, poetry, Hafiz and Rumi. It's all true. It's all true. And it all will feed you. And then you can spring into the future based on those wonderful tributaries of the past. We're standing proverbially on the shoulders of giants, so honor them, but don't imitate them. We mustn't be oppressed by the glamour and the glory of the past. We have to create something new. And that's how I'd suggest.
Really quick side onto that. In the beginning part of your exploration, actually, you should imitate them.
Yeah.
Once you've mastered and, perfect imitation, then Pascal, what he's saying is absolutely true. I just don't want someone listening to be like, oh, I should never imitate. It's like, no. Imitate exactly what you hear, get it down, master it, and then use that as a building block, right? And then use that as, creative fuel to build on something else, because, every great master didn't find their own voices until, certainly not when they were, 1920, except for Rachmaninoff. Damn you.
Well, I'm ruminating in the kitchen. I see you left your castanets. You got another